I feel like you always do this. Like you're like, whoa, this is great content. We have to start the podcast now. And we've run out of things to say. Like we've been goofing for the last 10 minutes trying to get started. And now we're done. So thank you guys for showing up. And until next time, we'll see you next time, I guess.
The first 15 minutes of banter is definitely the highest quality.
That's true. It would probably take a lot of editing to edit out all of the cursing, though. At least on my end.
Roll the tape. Yeah.
Hashtag roll tape.
Well, it's been a little while since we've all been together here.
It has. Well, that's not true, but it has been a while since we did a podcast. We've been playing games together.
Right. And me and Aaron just streamed for a couple hours on Twitch. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, head over to twitch.tv/ I don't know what it is.
It's actually right now it's NoTanPod because we were going to be Not the Average Nerd Pod.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't ever change it. What is the name of
the podcast?
It's Beyond Average Nerd.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. This may be our second revamping. We're just going to go from Beyond Average Nerd to Not the Average Nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, this may be the Phoenix rising from the ashes.
Right.
And then it's just going to get changed to like guys that are super busy and in real life and haven't had a chance to podcast for a while.
Dude, listen, the good thing about working really hard is you don't have to work as hard in the future. So I'm at that point where I bought my house, I have money in the bank, and now I'm just coasting. So when you said, hey, you want to do this? I had to do my billing, and I'm like, sure.
Yeah,
absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
And me and Aaron are just always here, not working that hard. So
it's true. it's like a steady 12-hour day of only doing the bare amount of work that I need to do in between checking like Twitter and playing games while I'm in the office. So, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of coding this morning, and then we just were like, you know what? Yeah. We're going to play Fortnite for 2 hours.
I did a whole membership migration thing,
because we're adults.
It is a national holiday too, so
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, nobody came in the office today, so
yeah, I was like, "Are we having our meeting?" I texted Lisa, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're not working today. I forgot to tell you." Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I took most of last week off, so I was actually intentionally going to work today, even though I didn't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
But and then Aaron showed up and I was like, oh, you came in the office. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff I had to get done. Sort of migrating membership sites and needed to finish that up. So nothing too crazy. It's been fun times.
Yeah, and then we were discussing some Pokemon cards and
yes,
the fact that Aaron is now getting into Pokemon cards and we might compete in a tournament.
Mason gave me a bunch of Pokemon cards.
Wait.
He gave me this Espeon GX. Check that girl out.
That's a great card. She's honestly, so all of the Eevee evolutions are extremely expensive, and they do well in decks as well.
Yeah, I mean it's only really like a $9 card or so, but nonetheless, it's very pretty, and I want it, and I'm going to use it in my deck.
So, are you guys going to the local comic shop and playing in a tournament, or
potentially? Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
I mean, it's not expensive to join.
I literally have so many cards. You get whatever deck you want to build. Just literally tell me if you need some cards, and I'll send them to you.
Oh, absolutely.
So I keep telling Aaron, I'm like, dude, just come to my house and take my hundreds of Pokemon cards. And
I took like $30 worth of cards from this guy. He's like, just take them. I don't even care.
And he felt bad about it. I was like,
I do feel bad about it. You know what? Because I'm used to like swindling little kids into like trading, like and just like really like shady trades. So that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to shady trade you, but
it was actually kind of funny because like Aaron's building a Psychic deck, and he was like, I need some special energies for this card, and I was like, okay, let me look through and see what I got. And my son actually has the one special energy that would work perfect for his deck, the Psychic one, and I was like, yo, bro, can I have that card? Like, talking to my 5-year-old, like, can I get that card off you?
So good.
And he was like, no, I'm good. He was literally like, shut me down. And was like, no, you can't have it.
Like, hey, buddy, if you ever want to come to my house and play with my kids again, you're going to give me that card.
The cool thing about Pokemon cards is besides the really expensive ones, all the other ones are easy to get. So to build like a really premium deck, like for a tournament, it's not that bad. It's just there's just like these gold, like these little diamonds in the rough that are worth like thousands of dollars. But all the other ones are, you can, even if you had to pay to get them, you could build a deck for low. But like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, that's impossible to do.
Dude, no, dude, don't even bother. Like if it is 2021 and you're just trying to get into Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic, just don't even bother. Don't bother. Right. Just go spend. You could blow your money on cocaine and spend it more wisely than buying into Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic in 2021.
Just buy cryptocurrency. That's where you need to be.
Oh my god! Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do you guys actually have any cryptocurrency?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do?
Same.
Yeah.
No. All my money is in medical marijuana.
I'm the smart one.
Disclaimer: Aaron talks about drugs. He does not do drugs or does not endorse drugs. By the way,
that's true. I definitely don't do drugs.
So yeah, we're gonna be. Our friend Tino is coming over. Shouts to Tino. He listens to the podcast sometimes. But
T-Bones, I call him.
I don't think I've ever actually called him that.
Is he a thick boy? Is he meaty?
He is. He's a meaty man. He's a manly man with a mustache and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's going to come over on Sunday and we're going to build decks and try to compete in this thing.
Yeah.
On the 15th. So pretty sure we're just going to Aaron's going to build our decks for us. And then we'll be like, all right, let's see if we can. And he's probably actually going to win the whole thing. So
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. No,
if you win, we're splitting the money.
Everybody else. So. Yeah. No.
We're splitting the prize.
What's the prize? Do you get a couple packs or?
You get a lot. This is like a big tournament they're doing. Usually they'll do on the weekends. Yeah, but this is a big one. They're doing some of the Chili Rain stuff. Like they're doing it in honor of all that coming out.
Oh, nice. So you get some packs that aren't even released yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they get to do the pre-release because they're like partners or whatever. So
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Is there a way to get in with this guy and if to be get his distribution price if we buy so much from him?
I don't know. Shop? Yeah, I need to ask Tino about that because he knows. Maybe. We need to have Tino on the podcast.
Yeah,
we do.
He'd be right in the alley.
Because I mean, the amount of packs I could buy from this guy to make it worth his while. Maybe he would just say endorse us and we could shout out his website or something.
So the comic book shop,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, those guys rule.
Yeah,
I
they're
feel
awesome.
like every time they know Mason by name and
oh yeah.
Know his orders by heart and stuff.
I actually got to go tomorrow because the next Fortnite Batman comes out, and it's the special item is the glider for Deathstroke in the Fortnite Batman. So you get
nice.
that, and then you buy the Deathstroke skin for a discount.
Wait! Did anyone else realize who Fortnite partnered up with for their next season?
Not 100. What is it?
Is it like the kids book or whatever?
It's not a kid's book. Calm down. Okay. It's they partnered up with Brandon Sanderson and they're going to do a Mistborn. There's a trilogy called Mistborn. It's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. So incredible books. And they're doing a splice in with Fortnite. So that this is his, because he has a bunch of other books that are incredible. Mm-hmm. This is his first crossover into a video game, and to do it with Fortnite because he's getting paid, which is great.
Oh,
and
sure, yeah.
Those books are incredible. His stories, everything. It's the characters. It's going to be so much fun.
What are these books about?
Yeah, is it an invasion theme? Because that's what the game has been pointing to, an invasion type thing is coming to the island.
So basically, Mistborn is set in I'll just tell you about the powers because that's how they're going to have to introduce him. It's set in a world where basically people have powers from ingesting certain types of metal. So you have copper or iron, and they drink this little just bits of them, and then they can turn in their as soon as they have it, they can turn it into a power of being able to pull or push or have super strength or whatever it may be. There's a bunch of different powers, but then because of that, I think that's good. Has to be your power ups that you get in Fortnite. Yeah. But it's the book series is ridiculously good. So
that's cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other there's definitely some monsters and different races and stuff in the book as well that they could do a bunch of stuff with. But that's cool. The power system, the main power system.
Yeah, I'm excited to see in the last few months since we've recorded a podcast, me and Aaron, me specifically, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, and Aaron's joined me on the train. We just played 2 hours of Fortnite, and then Weston's slowly come into the fold.
Yeah, I actually, I was hating. I mean, as you guys know, I was hating on Fortnite pretty bad because my last experience with it was 2 years ago, and the game itself, it plays as good or better than any other shooter. Mm-hmm. But the problem that I have with that game is before I used to play it is if you didn't build, you couldn't win. Yeah, and now it's definitely a little bit where building helps you, and of course, like there's definitely people at the very end that are doing it. But if you can just play the game, and you're good at shooters or whatever, you can still win. And it's more casual. It's fun. It was just so hardcore like 2 years ago, where only whenever like it was like at the height of esports, it was so sweaty that like it wasn't enjoyable to get into any lobby because there was just people that were just playing, hundreds of hours a week, and it was it was literally almost impossible to win.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's just super fun. Anyone can get into it. Like anyone who wants to download it and get it.
Yeah, that's why I've started playing it. At first, I was like, I'm going to suck at this because I had played it back in the day when it was really hard, and I was like, oh, I'm not great at it, but I'm not terrible at it either. So like I can hang a little bit, which is
it doesn't even matter as long as it's fun. Like who cares if it's like if you're really good or really bad? Of course, it's fun to be better, but like as long as it's playable. But because before it was unplayable.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's more fun to win, but if you come in 10th and enjoyed the experience, then who cares?
It's
all
good.
And that's like I got Aaron into it, and he started playing with me, and we were playing like really religiously at first. And then it's just like you said, it's just like a good hang. I've been playing a lot with the Ranger Command Power Hour guys. They're another podcast, but those guys have been really nice to me, and we've been playing with them. So
I have no idea.
It's really nice to be able to get on with other people's podcasts and just the community and just link up with cool guys, and we could have them on or they're having you on. It's always enjoyable. That's all. I mean, that's why people love gaming. Obviously there's a very toxic side to it with the community, but if you can find some really good guys like the Ranger podcast guys, then that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to hang.
There's not a lot of super dope people that play Fortnite, so when you find them, it's like hang on to them.
Dude, there is like at least 7 13-year-olds on my street.
Oh, I'm sure, dude.
that are playing, for sure. It always reminds me of that scene in Avengers Endgame when they go to find Thor and what's his face, the Rock guy is playing Fortnite. he's like
New Master 76. I will find you and I will kill you.
And your father.
What's his name? I can't remember now. That's good. Thor.
It's New Master 76 or
no. That's right. That's right. It is Thor. That's right.
No, the actual Rock
I was
guy. Like, hey,
I can't remember his name. It's like Crom or something like that. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Speaking of that, too, is in the crew, the crew wallpaper for the Fortnite crew. There, for next month, there's a Loki silhouette. There's a silhouette of Loki. So we might be getting some Thor content in the next season as well,
dope.
Which would be cool.
Korg is the guy, the Rock guy's name. By the way.
Korg, thank you. Thank you.
Crom was pretty close,
right?
Yeah, I'm like, because I'm just trying to remember, like, hi, I'm Korg, and this is
Meek.
Yes, and we're gonna go raid the Citadel if you want to
come. Oh, Meek's dead, man. Meek's alive.
And I just love when he hears the coming through the walls. He's like, "Piss off, ghost!" and he like kicks the wall.
I just love how he's. I think he's South African, right?
I don't know, something like that.
It's South African or New Zealand, but it sounds like one of those accents, and it's great. I love that accent.
Oh yeah, I feel like South African's usually just one of those accents where it's so hard to place. Because like I feel like you don't hear it necessarily super frequently, but when you do, it's just such a mixture that you're trying to figure out where it's from.
I've only had good experiences with people from South Africa, so it's just dear to my heart.
Oh yeah, good, Ash, absolutely. Usually good folks.
Yeah. So, other kind of things going on in our life other than Fortnite, me and Aaron were able to finally snag some PS5s.
Yeah.
And Aaron has a lot to talk about on this episode when it comes to the game Returnal for PS5.
I do have a lot to talk. I could talk about Returnal for a really long time. So
we'll just kind of give us your gist of like, I guess you can spoil it or we'll put a disclaimer
so definitely this is probably. Here's the thing: it's gonna probably have spoilers. Everything I say about it. It's hard to spoil here. So if you're just going in for like the gameplay, it's a fun game to play. If you like roguelike games, you'll enjoy it. Just like easy. If you like Risk of Rain or Risk of Rain 2 specifically, because Risk of Rain 1's 2D and Risk of Rain 2 is 3D. But if you like Risk of Rain 2, games like that, you'll enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. And it's just bananas as far as the different power-ups and everything that you can get. It's very forgiving. compared to what a lot of people think of when they think of a roguelike, because it's 6 biomes, so 6 levels essentially. And after level 3, you can you then start at level 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, midsection. Act 2 is 4, 5, 6, and then you beat the game and you start from the beginning again. If you're in for the story, I can't explain the story. It's the most confusing thing on the planet. It's the most confusing story I have experienced in a very long time. I played Control, and if you've played Control and that story was cerebral, this is like 3 of that. There's no closure, there's no explanation. Once you beat the game, it gives you an ending, and then you go back and you beat the game again to get, or you collect items through each level that give you a secret ending that makes the game even more confusing. There are tons of theories out there about what the actual storyline of the game is. I can give you my theory if you want me to. It will take a while to explain.
Well, just kind of give us
there's no overview.
Overall, how do you feel? How do you feel about finishing it? Are you just confused?
No,
or
I
are
love
you
it. No.
I love this game, and everybody should play it.
If you don't spend $70 on this game, then spend $60 on it. Just go out, buy it now, and play it. It is the 2021 game of the year. It's so good. Weston's dying.
If you don't spend 70,
the year is not nearly over.
Spend 60. Just wait till it goes on sale for $10 off and then buy it. If you don't have $70 to spend right now, go buy it immediately and play it. It is that good. Yes. I personally rated it a 7 out of 10, which is a good rating for me. I don't have a lot of 10 out of 10 games. I would probably actually, after I rated it a 7 out of 10 when I beat it the first time, I would probably actually rate it more like a 9 out of 10 after getting the secret ending and then figuring out what I believe to be the actual true story of what is happening in the game. From my personal perspective and from everything that I've figured out. And I literally wrote, the story is so confusing, I had to write it out in essay format, what I thought was happening in the game, so that I could put everything in order and make sense of it. That's how wild it is. And it took me a few hours to do it. It really, that's why I say you're at hey, give a rundown of the story. There's no rundown. You land on an alien planet, you don't know why you're there, you die, and then you come back to life and you're confused by it, and it just keeps happening. You find audio recordings of yourself throughout the game that make no sense to you at that point, because it's essentially a different version of yourself. Is it a multiverse? Are you stuck in not limbo? Well, I guess limbo. What's the Catholic one?
Purgatory.
Purgatory. Thank you. Purgatory. Is it actually an alien planet and these aliens are manipulating your mind? There's a million theories out there and every one of them is valid, but mine's the best. So.
And so we were talking about this and you said absolutely no sequel.
Absolutely no sequel to this
from
game.
The ending.
No sequel.
But it's so why is it so confusing if there's no so it doesn't really wrap up?
Because it is one centrifugal game. So the only way to make a sequel would be if they made another person. It would have to be it would be a Final Fantasy. It would be a whole nother person, a whole nother story. They could use some similar elements, but it would have to be separate completely.
Is this like Interstellar where Matthew McConaughey's behind the
trailer?
Literally, it literally is.
I'm behind this bookcase. I'm behind the bookcase.
Right, here we go. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna spoil the junk out of this game right now. So if you haven't played Returnal yet, yeah, thank you. If you haven't played the game yet, just skip. I don't know how far into the podcast you're gonna need to skip. Mason can edit in how far you're gonna need to skip in a little bit.
I'm gonna tag it right now. Look at that.
Spoilers. Hashtag spoilers. All right, you ready? I'm gonna go pull my notes out here. Hold on a second.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this a reason to get a PS5? Is this game enough?
Yes.
Because this is one of this is a Sony exclusive, right?
Go buy a PS5. Go buy a PS5 and play the game.
Because
if you okay. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, because from anyone listening or from a viewer standpoint, is why do I buy this console over that console? Right. It's normally exclusives, but there hasn't really been any great exclusives until this one, maybe. Because what I've heard is like Miles Morales, for instance, that's like another one that's exclusive. But a lot of people said that it's a great game, but it's not a full game. It's almost like a 1/3 game versus like a full Spider-Man game. So that's not a great reason to buy a PS5.
Yeah.
But if this is a full expansive,
like a
it's almost like a DLC. So is this like a full game? Like, you should buy a PS5. This is worth it just for that.
Correct. Wow. So I guess it depends for me, like it depends on if you like this game. So again, like I saw somebody on Twitter the other day. It was the funniest thing on the planet to me. He's just like, bro, I just hate this game because like you every time you die, you have to start at the beginning again. And it's like, that's what a roguelike is, you dumbass. Like that's how these games are played.
But
I'm sorry. It's a $70 life lesson. Like it really is. If you don't see it, like it is a roguelike. It is hard. It is not like Dark Souls hard, but it is hard. People, I mean, it probably took me like 5 hours to beat the first boss and then 15 hours to beat the rest of the game. All right.
That sounds infuriating, but also extremely rewarding at the end.
It is extremely rewarding because that's the thing. It's not so hard that you're gonna like cry every time you have to restart. The rooms are random. So there are a finite amount of rooms, but they shuffle themselves every time you play it. So you'll enter a room and you'll say, oh, I know how to unlock this door because I've done it 3 other times. It's not that bad. It's not so procedurally generated that it's annoying, but it is random enough that when you do restart, it feels a little fresher than just going through the same level again and pounding your head against a wall until you get through the wall. That being said, it is demanding, it's challenging, and there are set strategies that you have to memorize. Like it's like a World of Warcraft boss. There are 3 phases to each boss. There is a full health bar for each one, and you knock it down 3 times, and it changes every single time you restart. So it's a demanding, challenging game, and if you enjoy that and you're willing to put the hours in, it is worth every penny. And I would say it is worth buying a PS5 for. I bought a PS5 for Ratchet and Clank, but I wanted to try out Returnal because I love roguelites. I loved, Binding of Isaac, Risk of Rain 1 and 2, like Shovel Knight. Like just like I can't even think of all of the roguelikes that I played, but a lot. And I really enjoy the gameplay style. And this was, like I said, 9 out of 10 for me. 10 out of 10 if the storyline wrapped itself a little in a nicer, but otherwise it's really good. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks pretty good just from I've got some screens pulled up on the screen here, and look, I mean, it looks just super sick.
It takes advantage of the PS5 tech flawlessly. Like if you die, when you die, you fall on the ground, a cutscene plays of you crashing into the planet, and you start again. There is no load times at all, ever. Like period. There's no load times.
Wow,
that's
pretty
sick.
Cool. Yeah.
And then like as far as like the haptic feedback in the controller, like if you've got, this isn't a PS5 controller, it's a Stadia controller, but like when you pull the trigger halfway down on the left, you got one. If you pull it halfway down, that's you zooming in for your main fire, right? And then when you pull it and then it stops, and then you pull it all the way down, which from the feedback trigger feedback, and that gives you your alt fire so that you can fire like your grenade or whatever your alt fire is, laser beam, whatever it might be. So and then like when you're walking in the rain, like you can feel the pitter patter of the rain in the controller from the haptic feedback. And just there's so many amazing things. The theme of the astronaut that's like haunting you, basically. It's like this personification of death. If you stop sometimes in the game, you can hear it walking behind you. If you have the 3D place, if you have the PS5 3D headphones, which you should if you have a PS5, it is terrifying sometimes. It's so good. And you can hear every little minute detail. They thought out this game so well. It's just so good. I mean, I'm like blathering on about how amazing it is. It is absolutely worth picking up. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I feel like you play like a lot of really good games, so like you're a pretty good judge of that. So like, or you just play a lot of just intense games in general. So I definitely trust your opinion on it, and I will play it eventually. I don't know. I've just been so preoccupied with playing other stuff.
I get that, yeah. But yeah, absolutely. If you like a challenging game, there's no difficulty settings in this. or anything like that. There are like some modifications that you can make, like how much aim assistance you get and things like that. So there are some slight things that you can tweak to make things slightly easier for yourself. But generally speaking, there's no difficulty setting. You literally, there's not even a start menu. There's not a new game button or a continue button. When you load this game up, it loads you up. You are landing on the planet and then you start, and that's it. You just go.
So you rated this game 7 out of 10. Initially. What would you say were the cons?
So initially, mainly it was I didn't really grasp the story. And then I also felt like, as far as the amount of collectible stuff in the game goes, there's not enough, for me, there's not enough zones in the game to want to like slam my head against it and collect every single thing, because it is gonna dry up eventually. I probably have 35 or 40 hours in the game at this point, something like that. And that's just completing the main story and then going back and playing it, I don't know, 4 more times, basically, just like blasting through it just to get the collectible items that you need to unlock the secret ending, and then playing it a little bit more here and there, just for fun.
Interesting.
But yeah, I like, at this point, I'm kind of like done with the game. I would play it more to, just for the fun of it. But yeah, I would say, like I said, 7 out of 10 initially, because of the story and the replayability isn't all there for me, but 9 out of 10 at this point, because I have, I think, figured out what the story is, and I have replayed it enough, and like you unlock like different weapon modifications and all sorts of things to really beef yourself up. So I'm just like running into rooms shouting Gattaca and like just having a blast at that point, because I'm not gonna die. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna die. I know how to avoid different enemies. And it's really not like mega challenging once you kind of get to that point. But it is still quite a bit of fun. Yeah.
Cool. So let me ask you this. Do you think that, because to me, whenever you have to think about the story a little bit, like you don't know where it's going, and then maybe at the very end you're like, oh, I kind of understand what they're doing, or I had to do it. Like that could be a plus, even though maybe at first you're like, oh, I don't like this, like I don't know what's going on. But then at the very end, if you like beat the game, you're like, wow, that was a great experience. Like, I see what they're trying to say, even if there's a little bit up for interpretation, because that's what a lot of great like writers do. Is there'll be a little bit like of a question at the end, like even like an Interstellar or things like that, because we brought up earlier. That's part of the fun, is afterwards you go, like, I wonder what that means. I think it was there, but then they're just not going to make another one, because it's a good enough story at the end where you feel, dang, that was a very good and intense game, but also the story didn't make sense. But at the end, I got enough of it to feel satisfied, and there's questions that I can even ponder afterwards.
This discussion kind of leads into another discussion that I wanted to have. Did you see Quiet Place 2 yet, Weston?
No, I haven't. I need to go. Today or tomorrow,
I saw it. I saw it yesterday, and it's the kind of the same thing. The first movie kind of left you with like, they couldn't make them. They didn't have to make another movie if they didn't want to, just because it like kind of ended that situation that was going on. But then it did so well, they made another movie. And now this next movie really launches it into a whole new universe, like a whole new, like, they're going to make way more of these movies. And there's even a planned spin-off. That's not a spoiler or anything, because it's not talked about in the movie, but now there's a planned spin-off of the movie and the whole thing. So like, I think that kind of thing was done, like you're saying, in Returnal, where the writing was just done so well that it's actually, it's pretty versatile. And what they can do.
No, I disagree. You can't make a sequel. You can't. All right. So here's the thing. So we've tracked off a little bit, and we've said spoilers like 3 times now. But I am actually going to explain. Okay.
Hold up.
Yeah. Spoilers. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
I am going to actually explain the plot of this game to the best I can to the people that haven't played it yet. Okay. So the main character in the game is named Celine. A few things you have. Huh?
Dion?
Yes, Celine Dion. Thank you. Don't interrupt me, because I'm going to lose track. No, I'm good. Sorry. It's okay. Yeah, Celine Dion. So, okay. When we're talking about this game, there's a few things you have.
Wait, you want to do a summary in under like a certain amount of minutes?
You can certainly time me.
See if you can summarize this.
You time me and tell me how long it takes.
All right, I'm going to do it. I'm putting a timer on the screen.
I'm literally going to time you.
Put a timer on.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Let's
do you see my phone?
Summarize this game in 5 minutes or under.
Scroll really quick. I just want you to see. You can see all this text. No, hold on, buddy.
It's a 40-hour game. Of course,
hold on.
Do you
see me scrolling? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's how much I got. I'm not going to read all of this, but there is a lot. All right. Let's do this thing. Okay, so 5 minutes. Here we go. All right. So as far as Returnal goes, there's 2 elements to the game, 3 technically. So the first is the literal element, where she is literally on an alien planet. The second is the metaphorical element of the ancient and primordial Greek gods. Okay, so Selene is the goddess of the moon. All right. Helios is her brother, who's the god of the sun. Thea is her mother. Eos is their sister. Hyperion as their father. Ophion is the final boss in the game, who is signified as the in the Ophatic religion as the redeemer. And Kronos is mentioned quite a bit in the game. In my opinion, is the tentacle monster that we see throughout the game, signifying death technically as her judge. So essentially what happens as you play throughout the game, the story reveals itself to be essentially starting at Selene and her mother are driving. Her mother in the game is actually named Thea. They're driving down the street. Selene asks her mother, "Can you see the white shadow?" Her mother looks very confused, looks in the rearview mirror at Selene, like, what the hell's wrong with this kid? Looks out the front window. There's an astronaut standing in the middle of the street. She veers off, crashes into the water. And then when she looks up, there's this giant mechanical looking octopus type monster with 3 eyes. She looks very confused. She's trying to reach for Selene to save her, and she can't. Okay. So that's where the game kind of ends. That's the final ending that you see, or the first ending that you see. Okay. The second ending that you see is essentially the same scene playing out, except from the perspective of the astronaut. So we see Selene in this large room confronting her mother. She's never had a good relationship with her mother in real life. Her mother is bound in a wheelchair. She's clearly pregnant, and it's actually a skeletal remains of her mother, though she's well and alive technically in this scene. And Selene's confronting her. The mother tries to grab onto her and kill her, and Selene knocks her down and says, "I don't know why I was ever afraid of you." And then Selene looks at her hands, and she has astronaut gloves on, and now she's in the middle of the road, and she is the astronaut that sends the car careening off. However, in the second ending, she wakes up. Okay. And then you see the mother in the car swimming up and shouting Helios. Okay. So I know I only have 2 minutes left, and I know you guys are confused right now, and that's okay. I was just explaining the story arcs that are in the game. All right. So what happens in the game? There weren't 2 people in the car. There were 3. Thea is clearly pregnant. She loses the baby in the first car crash. Her and Selene escape the car crash. They are able to go on living their life. However, Thea's never actually happy with Selene. Thea's wheelchair bound for the rest of her life, and Selene is essentially trying to make it up to her mother by doing all these grand things, getting her doctorate, becoming an astronaut, which was always her mother's dream, and she was unable to do it. She wanted to join the Astra program, but she was rejected because she's in a wheelchair. The Astra program is the space program that Selene joins when she goes and visits this alien planet. The alien planet is inhabited by a number of monsters that essentially have psychic powers and are tormenting her. Whether or not they're actually supposed to be representative, like literal representations of these Greek gods, the Greek gods are just not real gods, and they're just aliens that came to Earth and messed with people psychically again. I don't know. That is my kind of take on things, though. And so she's seeing all these visions. She's going through her childhood home and what have you. This is going to go over 5 minutes, by the way.
Nope.
Oh, I'm done at 5 minutes?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You're done at 5 minutes. Just give us a 20-second wrap up right here.
There's no way to do that. So basically, Celine is just caught in an infinite loop of reliving the day that her brother died and it was her fault, and until she finally gets to the end of the game and is able to take on the astronaut suit, jump down, save her brother, and then she dies in the car instead of him. Is happy about that because the mother hates her daughter, and that's the end. And it's super sad and super depressing, and that's
honestly, that sounds like I mean, just that for the last 20 seconds is all I needed. That sounds like a great game.
It really sounds a lot like Interstellar to me, in like a different way.
Yeah,
like.
But the thing is basically, so Celine essentially is like judged by Kronos that she's done the right thing and she's been redeemed. She kills and so that's the other thing. Like all of these bosses, like Nemesis is the third boss in the game, and Nemesis is represented by a white shadow with and there are
like this Resident Evil
giant demon baby fetuses like floating around it, which are clearly representative of your dead brother Helios. She's named her ship Helios. There's all sorts of symbology, all sorts of mental mind tricks in throughout the game, and it's bananas. If you can play through it and read into it as much as you want, it's awesome.
So there's actually like inside that game, there's a lot of like story arcs that happen in other books, right? Like that's
exactly correct.
Like it's very original, but it's taking a lot of like really cool concepts and applying the game. Because what I like about that is basically she's having to relive these moments until she basically wins and conquers her fears, and also was able to bring her real brother, like save him, right? But because you can't die in the game, which is also interesting because basically you're reliving and you have to do all these things until you actually win the game, but you can't die, but you have to relive your past in order to confront it. And then in the end, it's actually real, like you save it.
See, here's the thing, and that's why I say, because Kronos is mentioned several times throughout the game, and that's why I say the villain who is not named, the three-eyed octopus monster, is Kronos, because he's there when you crash, he's there at the very end of the game, and essentially my assumption is that every time you die, he's just like, nope, time travel, and shoot you right back to the beginning, try again. And when you beat
Kronos is the god of time in mythology.
Yeah, so he's just time traveling you back to where he wants you to be so that you can try again to get it right. Because the thing is once you beat Nemesis in Act 3, you send out a homing beacon, right? And an Astra's coming to save you, and they save you, and you go back to Earth, and you live a long and beautiful life, and then you die, and you're buried in the ground, and guess where you end back up? Right on the planet. Like 40 years later, everything is in ruins. But it's the same planet because you didn't do it right. You didn't get it right. You were not judged. You didn't understand why you were sent there. She thought she was sent there because of her relationship with her mother, and she did her mother wrong. And now she's conquered her fear of her mother, so everything's okay. And that's not why she was there. She was there because she got her brother killed. And so she needed to make that right. She went back and she in the astronaut suit dove down, saved her mother, came back up, and she died in the car, and that was it. And that's why you can't make a sequel.
That's so cool. So there's an anime called ReZero that's really popular, and the premise of that is basically like every time he dies, he can start over. So it's opposite. He gets to start over, but he can't advance his own story until he figures out his purpose or the purpose of the ones around him. And he's trying to save as many people as possible. Like he doesn't want anyone else to die as well. So it's kind of interesting, like because even there's times where he like advances his story, or he thought this is where he has to go, but he's wrong. Like he realizes, oh, actually, this isn't my purpose. Like I have to go do something else. And then his story can, because at certain points, he in the anime, he does actually hit checkpoints where he's like, yeah, that was correct. Or whoever's like the prevailing overarch of that's pulling the strings of why he can like return to life. is they're saying like, yeah, that was right. Like, so you can't go back and you're not going to go back any further than this moment. And then once he hits like another, like that was a good moment. So it sounds extremely interesting. It is actually, and that's a great story.
Me on it, just by that last little 10-minute spill there.
Yeah.
I would buy a PS5 too, but they're impossible to get. I don't know how you guys got them. Maybe just because you live in the middle of nowhere.
Like a freaking magician with this thing, man.
Did you get yours online or did you find it
PlayStation
mine from GameStop and his from PS Direct.
Yeah.
You just gotta like have your Twitter notifications turned on.
Yeah.
And then get in the queue.
I've seen it come up, but I don't have a PS Direct account, so that's
it's just your PlayStation account. Right? Yeah.
Oh, really? You don't have to like. It's not. You don't have to be like part of their club.
No. Just your PlayStation account.
Yeah. Like if you follow them and follow GameStop, usually they'll announce it like.
And actually, I did the whole thing on my phone. Like I didn't even grab a computer. I was just sitting there, literally playing with my kids, playing dinosaurs with my kids, and it popped up on my phone, and I clicked it, and I got in the queue, and then I somehow got in and got errands.
Yeah.
You should go buy a lotto ticket right now because I'm sure you win.
Seriously,
I know
it's nuts.
I should. That'd be cool.
But anyways, yeah.
Well, that sounds really good. You sold us, Aaron. I think that was it's epically confusing, but that's that sounds like a great story.
The thing though, that's why I love it, and that's why I 9 out of 10'd it, because I finished the game, and all day, all I was thinking about was what the hell I just saw. And I was just trying to figure it out. And I was literally at Walmart with my kids, and I'm just like walking down an aisle, and I'm like, holy shit, like Helios is in the womb and he died. Like, oh my God. I know you're going to have to edit that, and I apologize. But I was just like, it just like finally clicked for me that was what happened. And then everything just fell into place.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm.
And visually, it's like really great.
Yeah, just those pictures from
dude, visually, amazing. It's ridiculous. It's so dark, like shadowy dark. But it's okay. Like I get over it because it's so
play at night games. Like play it at night. Yeah.
Well, like all of the items glow, and like every bullet that gets fired at you is like a big glowing ball. Like you can't miss anything, even if it's dark in some spots. You're not gonna miss anything. You might fall off a cliff, but that's it. And the nice thing is, even if you fall off a cliff, it just pops you right back up top. So it's not that bad. It's like Fallen Order.
Are you guys playing on OLEDs? Like OLED TVs, or is it just like a
I'm not a rich boy.
No, yeah, it's just a standard.
Yeah,
4K.
Yeah, I've just got a standard
UHD.
4K. Yeah,
it's the one that's in our office thing. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, but I am looking into getting one because my living room TV is falling apart. So
yeah, I do.
I just want to get the right one. So
yeah,
they've come down in price a lot. Like because last time I was looking, they were like $3,500 for a 70-inch, and now like they're under 2K for like a really nice like the 3 billion colors, like light, something that's going to look next gen.
I think the Sony that I was looking at was maybe like 2,200 or something like that. It wasn't awful for like a 65-inch.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I've been looking at a lot of the LGs. Been looking at those. They seem pretty solid build and color. I just love
they started the OLED thing.
Yeah, I just love their.
So they're like the OGs.
I love their colors.
Yeah.
The LGs put out. So I'm pretty much done with Sony at this point because my Android TV has been hot garbage since I got it. Like it's the OS is just literally falling apart.
Don't blame.
Like,
what do you?
My Vizio TV's okay for the price.
I gotta back up a second. What are we blaming Android? And
it's the OS, bro.
The OS is falling apart. What does that even mean?
It restarts literally, like hard resets every time, like every 3 times I turn it on.
That doesn't feel
it's
like
so random.
And
I literally went in, uninstalled Android, reinstalled it. The whole I went through the connected it to my computer and did the whole thing. Didn't work. It's done. It's done. It's probably something in the hardware that's making the software corrupt. But like at the same time, all of it working together is just not. I really liked it for the first couple of years, and then when I started having problems, I'm like, I'm done with it.
No, I get it.
I like doing the same.
It is.
Or you getting defensive?
No, it's garbage.
Get defensive.
I just bagging on Android. It's fine. No, I do have the LG TV.
Okay.
And it is really nice.
So you text me, Aaron, from your Android Samsung phone.
Well, no,
I get it 4 times every time, and it says it didn't even send on your phone.
That is because that is Samsung. Samsung is trash. If somebody listening to this podcast works at Samsung, I hate you, and I hope you jump off a cliff.
Or just fix your stuff,
or
bro.
just fix
like,
your
what are you
stuff.
doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Weston's
What are you
eyes
doing?
got really high on that one. Like, bro, that was a threat. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm
so
just kidding. Don't jump off a
let's
cliff.
wrap up the podcast, which today, as of today, the Spider-Man No Way
Are we
Home
done?
trailer hasn't dropped, but it is dropping this week sometime. And
Yes.
so I don't know if you've read any of the stuff online about this movie. Me and Aaron have been talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
With the hype they're putting on this.
Dude.
So the latest bit of news on it is that Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, is going to be the main villain.
Yeah.
Oh, the main villain?
So he's going to put together the entire Sinister Six through the different universes, which is going to be Electro, Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, and then now they're saying the Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man, and who's the last one? Oh, the Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man movies. That they're all coming back and going to be in this thing. So what are, like, I just want to get from you guys what your expectations versus what you think reality is going to be of this movie.
Yeah. So I don't live in the world of hype personally. I do feel that the hype or a lot of hype is justified for this movie, given how Marvel wrote it. The other two were terrific. The other two are better than like the first 5. Every Marvel movie is systematically decent as far as at least a popcorn flick, if not, a step above that. So I think the hype is justified to a certain extent. The speculation is, I think, where it gets all lost in the
Wrapped
weeds.
up.
Yeah, it's just a little silly. I don't see a reason why the Vulture wouldn't be there. I don't know if you mentioned him or not.
Yeah. Okay, so I did read a little more about that, and the guy who supposedly broke all this and wrote this article said that
he's in prison, but
well, yeah, but it's also the villains they wanted for some reason to come out of the different dimensions.
I got you.
The different multiverses.
Yeah, I got you.
So, like, I can see now after reading a little bit more about it why they wouldn't have any of the Spider-Man villains in this universe in the MCU. But
and for all intents and purposes, I'll walk that comment back actually, because Vulture's not really a villain, and he knows that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and he's like, we're good.
Anti-villain kind of thing.
He's an anti-villain. Like, basically, like he will, if he's trying to like save like his family or something, it's always his daughter, correct? Like, he's just doing things for her. He'll end up like robbing banks or just doing some crazy stuff, but he's not really a full sure. Well, okay, so I think I love William Dafoe. I think he's absolutely incredible. So bringing him back, I was excited to see. Everyone else, I mean, Jamie Foxx's Electro was really good. I like all of those movies, even the old ones, except Spider-Man 3 is the only one that I kind of dislike. But I mean, 1, 2 were, I think, even like with that, they're completely fine. Like 4 and 5 I loved, and then obviously 6 and 7, which is MCU, Tom Holland, I think were really good too. So I don't have any grievance of them combining those. I think that it's going to be really good, and especially where Marvel is right now, they know how, dude, they finally figured out how to make good superhero movies, and I'm happy with it. So just make, like, whatever they're going to do, it's going to be great. So I'm like, I'm a fan. I just want to watch it now.
For sure. I think that it's might be getting a little overhyped if all of this is not true, but we definitely know Alfred Molina's in it. And he even gave an interview straight up telling like where his position in the story starts. Like it literally takes place after he falls into that abyss in the Hudson River of the Tritium.
Which that'll be cool.
All that happens. Tritium, and he gets warped. I guess he's going to get warped through the universe into the multiverse, and that's how it's all going to figure itself out or whatever. But I think it's cool how they're not we don't know the exact details, but they're not abandoning those old properties completely, so they're kind of bringing them in, and then obviously they're wanting to connect something with the Venomverse too, with Vulture appearing in the Morbius trailer, so like anyway, I definitely think it might be getting like a little bit overhyped just in the news, but like you said, Weston, they're going to make good movies either way. So
yeah. I mean, it's like this. Like, was Avengers overhyped? Probably, but it was still great. It wasn't like those movies are great. Like, they had so much hype surrounding them, but they delivered pretty well. Like, and I always go into movies just being hopefully just a fan and just having my own opinion. There's a couple people that I follow online or on Twitter that I do respect. Like, I normally kind of see pretty eye to eye, and I like their perspective. But in general, if you're a fan, we're all Spider-Man fans. it's as long as it's not just god awful. I don't care how much hype it has around it. If it's good, I'm gonna go into it like a fan. I'm always, I know me and Aaron will critique it regardless. But even if I have like grievances with it, if it's a decent, even like a decent movie, I'm gonna enjoy it. So
I feel the same way because I'm like that with like Thor: Dark World. Like everybody craps on that movie and like how bad it was, and it's the worst.
They do.
And I'm
I don't know why.
really get it because I'm like, it's decent. It's not the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but
I rewatched it.
It's probably the worst Thor, but it's not exactly.
Like it's the worst Marvel movie is still a solid. It's still, the worst Marvel movie is still better than the original cut of the Justice League. Let's just go with that. Like it's still
true.
Like, it's better than the Joss Whedon Justice League. So let's just go with that.
Point.
Yeah.
I definitely am excited because I want to see. I would love for them to bring Willem Dafoe into this thing because I just love his take on the Norman Osborn.
Me
and
too.
He is such a good actor in the split personality aspect of it. Like, and it really makes you appreciate it from seeing how Amazing Spider-Man tried to do the Green Goblin. And it was okay. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't as good as Willem Dafoe was,
Yeah.
So,
the only thing I'm a little nervous about is if they're going to have to...
Wait, when did he do the Green Goblin?
It was at the end of the second one. It wasn't Norman, but it was Harry Osborne was the Green Goblin and killed Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh,
that was
See, I don't even remember that because when I think of Green Goblin, I only think of Willem Dafoe.
I've been watching all those movies with my 5-year-old recently, and he's like hooked. So it's nice. He keeps watching that scene over and over again when Stacy dies because he's just so like heartbroken by it.
It's funny. It's funny because my mom just texted me a little bit ago. She's watching the kids and she's like, "Are they allowed to watch Mandalorian?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely they are." Like, are you kidding me?
I wouldn't let my kids watch that yet, but
really? Oh man.
Yeah, it's a little bit too like they got to be really attention holding for that too. So.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know. They love it. They just like westerns.
But yeah,
parenting talk. Imagine,
right.
Weston's over there like, I do what I want. I don't know.
Weston's like, I sleep in as long as I want every day.
Yeah,
which is like 6:30.
I say so like 5 a.m.
I was about to say, to a functioning adult status, 6:30. I wake up like a bat out of hell.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think this is just kind of a good catch-up pod. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say? We're hitting right at the hour mark here. So
no, I'm Kosh. Do you guys want to talk about things that you've been like watching or playing or doing nerd stuff that's just kind of been your thing lately, made you a little happy?
Sure. Go ahead, Weston. Why don't you start it?
Yeah, I finished actually the latest Brandon Sanderson book.
Nice.
It's called Rhythm of War, and it was very good. It was slow, but I really enjoyed it, and it's such a long book. It took me quite a while. But I love that one. So shout out Brandon Sanderson because like we talked about, his Mistborn's coming to Fortnite. So we'll be talking about that more. And then I've been playing Fortnite with you guys, which has been really, really nice. And it's just a great
looking forward
time.
to streaming some more of that too. Like, stream it.
It's really fun because no matter how good of skill level you are with that game right now, is because we've just brought in like random people that don't play the game as well, and they can just jump in there and have a good time. Sure. And it's just fun. And then Pokemon Snap.
That's fun. I have it too.
I haven't played it yet.
I've been killing that one. Oh, you haven't played it?
I want to get it. I just haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's really fun, and I think it pays homage to the old game and adding some new features and just new Pokemon. It plays like really, really well on the Switch.
It's so smooth.
So playing that, and then that's about it for me.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. So for me, same Fortnite. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, hanging out with some people, hanging out with you guys. It's been fun. Good time.
Don't sound too excited about it.
Yeah, no, we've talked Fortnite to death already. So that's in my.
By the way, if you don't tell Aaron how amazing he is every 5 seconds, he will say it himself.
That's true. You're amazing, Aaron. It's fine.
By the way, is Rhythm of War? I had to get this. Is that like a dance fighting thing? Like, is it like a dance battle, like a thing where they do like hip hop?
So you know how you had you had like 5 minutes to tell about like a crazy story. Well, I'm 5 books in on like 2,000 page books, so I would need at least 10 minutes to tell you exactly what that means. So let's just
never
not
mind.
Go there.
I just assume sexy dance battles. That's it. That's what I assume it is.
Yeah, it's not like you and your wife. Like it's nothing.
No,
nothing.
Like
that.
Okay.
It's just completely different.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to finish up, I saw Quiet Place too.
Yeah.
Aaron hasn't seen the first one, so if you don't mind, Aaron. I would like you to watch that, and then maybe we can all kind of talk about.
I thought you were gonna ask me to take my headphones off so you could explain.
No, if you don't mind, watch the first one at least.
I'll try and find
it. We'll see. I know Weston, you're probably going to see it between now and the next podcast. So
I will for sure.
And then if you can get time to go see the second one, I'd love to chat that, because I'm interested to see what your takes are on the whole thing, because I like everything. I just have that shtick on the podcast, but like
no, just sorry to interrupt you, but it's been getting like insanely good feedback from just everyone across the board, like really hard critics, soft critics. Like it's been good.
And I want to see your perspective on the ending, especially. So
absolutely.
Anyway, that's something we can talk about for next week. Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah. So a thing that is making me happy is just my PS5. I love it.
Same.
Dude.
Same.
I played Returnal to death. No pun intended. Loved it. I've been playing Last of Us 2 finally, and they patched it for PS5, so it's just gloriously beautiful. It's like 3K. It's not quite 4K. They upscale it, but it's like 3 or 4K or roughly 60 FPS. It's beautiful. It's glorious. The story is incredibly sad and depressing and amazing, and I love every minute of it. So I've been enjoying that, and just in general, Astro's Playhouse is a lot of fun.
Nice.
The kids love that. Katie really enjoyed it. It's like a free Mario game basically for your PlayStation.
Yeah.
So,
and if you have VR, you can play it in VR.
If you have VR, you can play it in VR too. That's right. And that's really it for me. Just those things for now.
Yeah, cool. Well, I like this format. It'd be really easy to do like a Twitch video show too. Eventually, if you guys are down to want to try to do that, I definitely want to start streaming more.
I don't know why we're not streaming on Twitch right now.
I just wanted to test it out first to see how this platform turned out, and I'm going to definitely download the audio and put it out to the podcast as well, and hopefully we can just kind of square up to try to do this on a weekly basis again.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys in 3 months.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, I think this was just an easy to hop into more situation. To kind of chat too. So like a little bit of a different format here.
Yeah. So. And the Mandalorian one we never released because the audio got all jacked up on it or something like that. So we just didn't bother with it. But so that'll be
just was. Yeah, it kind of fell through the cracks there. So
it's kind of trash. But I think we never did. Did we ever do weren't we supposed to do like an episode where we did what was that Super Nintendo game? No, that's Long Division? Oh, WandaVision. They said Long Division. I'm like, is this a math podcast now? No, well, WandaVision is fun. Also, Captain America and Winter Soldier. I don't understand why he's still called Winter Soldier when, like, that's his villain name, and now he's a good guy. Like, rename, like White Wolf. Just change your name to White Wolf, dude. That's your like Wakanda.
Going. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
Anyway, to be continued.
I don't know, man.
To be continued.
I kind of like the Winter
Soldier. I do too.
Cool.
I'm just saying it makes no sense.
Like I kind of like whenever he goes into his like fighting mode, he kind of becomes the Winter Soldier. Like because he's all right. He's got his tactics. You kind of see his like eyes get a little darker. And then whenever he's just like chilling, he's like, "Hey, I'm just Bucky. I'm brooding and I'm sad, but also like I'm so lovable."
Cool. Between the next Spider-Man and Doctor Strange movie, I just think we're about in store for so much goodness. So,
dude, I know.
I'll just be happy with what they give me. So.
I'm really excited for Thor: Love and Thunder. True. Like I am so excited to see Natalie Portman, female Thor. Lady Thor is the best Thor comic book series, hands down. Go read it. That's my sign off. I'm gonna stop talking now.
All right.
You guys can keep talking. I'm done.
I'm done too.
Oh, you're done? So, okay. I just ran the podcast long.
Cue the music, and we'll see you next week.
Yes. Until next time, we'll see you next time. See you in 3 months.
Or next week. Watch Quiet Place 2. Thanks again for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @ban_cast. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Beyond Average Nerds. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And tune in every other Friday for new episodes.